live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live tonight. I'm Heidi Hatch. It is Friday, October 27th. We're going in depth tonight on a few different topics. Before we dive in, though, a look at what's making headlines on this Friday. We do have new details in a deadly shooting in Sugar House. Salt Lake police have now identified the victim as 34-year-old Tavon Troy Brandon. Police say the 46-year-old shooter remained on scene and is cooperating with officers. Officials in Maine are now deploying search teams in the air, water, and also on the ground, trying to find the suspect in Wednesday night's mass shootings. Authorities are now working through more than 500 tips from the public on the whereabouts of 40-year-old Robert Card. And a man in custody after Provo police say he ran a man over early this morning. It happened around 4:30 in the morning, about 150 feet away from the Provo Police Department. Police say the victim had fallen in the road at 500 West at Center Street and then was run over. Salt Lake police say they're getting ready for tomorrow's prescription drug take-back day. If you have some pills around the house, from 10 a.m. until 2 tomorrow afternoon, you can drop off any unwanted prescription drugs that you may have. Don't flush them down the toilet. No questions asked in this. Headed to the police department's Pioneer Precinct, that is near 10th West and 7th South. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show or afterwards. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join that conversation. And you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's TV Heidi Hatch. Send me a direct message if you'd love to weigh in. Tonight we are learning an alarming amount of information about another strange disappearance of another Latter-day Saint affiliated family. It's related to radical doomsday beliefs, and like the highly followed Vallow Daybell case, this one has unusual ties to both Utah, Idaho, and also Arizona. Ariel Harrison joining us in studio tonight. So Ariel, you've been looking at this case. What is the Utah connection, and why is the search so urgent for the family right now?
Yeah, lots of names involved, first of all, Heidi, and I think you flagged this for us. We've been looking into it, though, today. The tie to Utah kind of goes back to an uncle that is involved right now. So let me kind of walk everyone through what we know right now. The Vallow Daybell case was followed highly in the last 4 years. This case that we're talking about right now with the Tibido family is similar because it involves a family with ties to Utah, Idaho, Arizona, who have radical religious beliefs about doomsday. So this family you're looking at on the screen, this was mapped out for us by East Idaho News. They have kind of given us an idea of the familial connections. That young man on the bottom right of your screen is Blaze Tibido. He is only 16 years old. Right now, it is our understanding, based on reports from East Idaho News and also police departments that are looking into this, including the Federal Bureau of Investigations, that he left with his mother and sister to Idaho from Arizona earlier this week to meet an uncle that has ties to Provo, Utah, Heidi. His name is Burkell, and we've been looking into this today, but that is the connection to Utah.
And it seems like they had been maybe reading into some pretty extreme religious beliefs and also looking to the end of the world, where this 16-year-old, they believe, was not Christ, but some kind of person that was going to be there before the second coming. So very different views, and I think there's some concerns over the welfare of this 16-year-old.
There sure are, and I mean, in the Vallow Daybell case we looked at, they believed in zombies, they believed all these things associated with doomsday. That's different in this case. They, as you mentioned, believe that Blaze plays an integral part in the coming of the Savior for the second coming. They've claimed that they've taken him to prepare him for that specific role that he's been called for. So no one knows what that means. That's scary. His dad is very worried, and that's why he's reached out, flagged this, and from my understanding, I was told by the East Idaho News reporter that he has temporary full custody, but he is not with his dad right now. He's with the mom.
So the dad has custody?
The dad, and he's not with his dad. The mom took him.
I can't imagine how scary that is. Is there any indication right now of whether the 16-year-old Blaze willingly went with his mother? I mean, 16-year-olds don't always have a choice with your parents. Sometimes they say, get in the car, we're going someplace. Or if he was hoping to be with his dad, or where he is on all this?
So based on the information the dad, the family have shared, is that Blaze had no part in these beliefs, that it's very odd he would go, just for the sheer fact that he's a teenager, is playing football right now, is very excited about his role on his high school football team there in Arizona, and excited to play in his football games and hanging out with his friends. He's a kid. So to think that he would have willingly gone, that's a question everyone has right now. But also, his dad had stated to the reporter in Idaho who shared this with me that he thinks he may have been tricked into going, that his birthday's coming up. The mom may have said that, hey, we're going to do this trip for your birthday, not realizing that they're actually going to go maybe camp out in the mountains for who knows how long. They're saying that they haven't really given a time when they plan to be back. It could be years.
Wow, and certainly an extreme time of year to be outside. The daughter, too, which is the 16-year-old sister, she's newly married, as I understand, too, which seems also very extreme to be a newlywed and leave your husband behind.
Yeah, and we again honed into reports in East Idaho where they spoke with her husband. He's just distraught. He's heartbroken. He said he knew his wife had these beliefs that kind of lined up with what her mom was saying, these doomsday beliefs. And one day, just on Monday, he got a call from her while he was at work saying, there's a medical emergency, you need to come home right now. He came home, there was no medical emergency. She was frantically packing the house, packing the things, saying, we need to go right now. He'd known about these beliefs she had, but I think he just didn't understand how extreme they were. And then now she's left, and she tried to get him to go with her. And he's like, I can't go, I'm staying. And now she's gone, and he has no idea.
Wow, frightening for these family members. Wishing the very best for the safety of the 16-year-old and also his sister. A lot of questions right now. I'm sure we're going to continue following that. So thanks for making sense of all of this.
Yeah, thank you, Heidi.
All right, Ariel, thank you. In other news this evening, employees say they were not paid, then abruptly terminated from their jobs. They can file right now state labor commission complaints, but what's next for some of these ex-employees? Brian Malahy is live in downtown Salt Lake City. And Brian, what options do these employees or former workers have?
Well, they can file for unemployment, and that would be through the State Department of Workforce Services. They can even file for unemployment if they quit because they were not being paid before they were terminated. Usually takes, if it's smooth, a couple of weeks. The only way that the employer, Forged Metals, could object to these workers, these ex-workers now receiving unemployment benefits, is to say that the people did not work for the company or that they were fired for cause. So those are a couple of options. Of course, some employees have said that they have received new jobs outside the company. We also talked today to a principal with Q Factor. That is a local firm said to be related to Forged Metals. We tried to talk to a co-founder of that organization. Actually did speak to him for several minutes when I went to the door of the business. The door was locked. He opened the door. We had a very short but frank conversation, and we're going to have that for you on 2 News at 6 on Channel 2.
And it sounds like this business maybe just went bust and the employees didn't have an idea until literally their paychecks didn't come?
That's the sense that we have, that the employees really didn't have any advance word of this. Today, this principal said that the enterprise is crumbling. What exactly that means, we don't know for sure. At one point, he also said this week that there was no money in the accounts for this metal works business. This is all tied together. The company Q Factor is a development design company. They've done some really nice projects in Salt Lake City, taking old warehouse space, creating new urban spaces that are kind of hip and cool and so forth. But the metalworks company, where these employees were that were not paid, who were not paid, and who received late checks, and then maybe not all of the money that they're owed, and think there's some dispute about that. They were working for an entity that did have a tie, apparently, to Q Factor. It's a hard story to unravel. We're doing our darndest to try to get to the bottom of it, and the offer stands for the principal to have a sit-down interview with us to explain the side of the story from the corporate administrative point of view.
All right, frustrating for a lot of families who are probably trying to make ends meet right now, pay for those groceries and make rent. Yeah. Brian Malahy live for us tonight. Thanks so much. Our team has been taking a deep dive into this investigation all week long to see all of our past interviews with the employees and also the questions we've been asking to the companies. Head on over to KUTV.com. Switching gears now to weather, we want to take a look at this video from Park City today. Just bought my passes there this week. The resort has officially started to make snow for the upcoming ski season. They always wait till it's cold enough where they know the snow is going to stick, and I think we've made it there. Yep. Meteorologist Chase Thomason is here with that first alert forecast. I woke up this morning and it was finally that cold feeling where you're like, ugh, I can't get out of bed. Let's warm it up for a couple hours.
A little frost on my grass. You know, it was cold. Many spots did hit freezing for the very first time. Officially, though, at the airport, it was 33, so we haven't done it. Not quite. But we will do it this weekend. I want to show you, though, behind you, how well we're doing for the month of October. October 1st is when we start the water year. Of course, last water year was so great. We want to start off.
So it's like a fiscal year. Okay,
it is, kind of. Yeah, we start October 1st, and we're almost at 2 inches for the month, and that's probably where we're going to end up, which is about 3/4 of an inch above normal. So we're doing okay, which is what we like to see. Get everything saturated before the snow gets in so we can get some good runoff. So let's get right to your forecast. Here's what you need to know. Today's temperatures were slightly milder than yesterday. We hit 53 for a high temperature this afternoon. 49 in Logan, though, so still kind of chilly in some spots. You'll definitely need a coat, though, for tonight if you have any evening plans. Temperatures in central Utah in the 60s, and we hit 71 in St. George. Overnight temperatures, though, cooling off, likely be in the low to mid-30s here along the Wasatch Front. But look at Ely at 6 degrees, 20 in Logan, 24 in Park City. The cold weather is here to stay. Now, we're going to have some cloud cover spreading into southern, central, and eastern Utah. We're already seeing it, and we might start to squeeze out a couple light showers out in southeastern Utah. And same thing for tomorrow, but it looks like most of western Utah stays dry. But look at the temperatures, a bit cooler tomorrow as we cool off into the 40s. We'll see some upper 40s and low 50s in central Utah and some upper 60s down in St. George. So here's your weekend forecast for Salt Lake. A few clouds, especially in the morning. It will also be a little breezy as this storm system begins to roll into Utah. Sunday will be a bit cooler as we drop maybe a degree or two, and we're still well below normal, but we'll have some sunshine for your Sunday. This is the storm that's going to be sliding in. There's also another little weak storm that's going to be producing some of those light showers down in southern Utah and the cloud cover. So notice as we head into tonight, here's where some of these light showers are: south central, southeastern Utah. We'll have mostly clear skies, though, along the Wasatch Front, but a few clouds developing tomorrow morning, especially south of Salt Lake. We can't rule out maybe a flurry or two in the mountains, but it looks like most of these showers will stay out in eastern Utah. So you might get a little bit of rain if you're at Arches, Moab, Canyonlands. But look at the snowstorm going on out in Colorado for your Saturday. We won't be dealing with that. Great news if you're going to the big Utah-Oregon football game. Cold but dry, and then Sunday is looking very sunny statewide. Now, as that storm moves in, though, we're going to see some pretty gusty winds. The strongest winds will be down in the St. George area, where we do have a wind advisory. This is mainly for Saturday night. So tomorrow night, winds at 25 to 35 miles an hour, but we could see some gusts to 55 miles per hour. It's going to be a cold north wind, secure all loose items. Sunday will be your coldest day, St. George at 60, 62 on Monday, but look at these overnight lows early next week in mid-30s. Now, Halloween, 66, not bad for trick-or-treaters. A little bit milder by Thursday and Friday with highs around 70. Salt Lake, 34 tonight. We're in the 40s through the weekend, 48 on Monday, 54 on Halloween. A very sunny Halloween, but as that sun sets for trick-or-treaters, it will likely be in the 40s, so a little cold. But then we'll see those highs rebound by the end of the week, right around 60, which might be a degree or two above normal for this time of year.
Sign me up for above normal, but those 20 years are going to be cold. When you're adjusting after coming off these warm days, it takes a bit to get used to it.
I know this is not a cold forecast if it was the middle of January, but since we've been dealing with some warm weather, this is going to be chilly for us.
All right, so jacket weather is back. I know a lot of people love the sweater weather. And it's going to be a gorgeous football game. It is a lot of people heading out, thousands of people gathering at the University of Utah to welcome ESPN's college football pregame show to campus. This is ahead of tomorrow's big game between the Utes and the Oregon Ducks. Broadcasts are happening today, again tomorrow morning, starting at 7 o'clock. Fans are invited to watch all the live shows from the set at President's Circle. Homemade signs encouraged. It is free to attend. Kickoff is at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. I saw you tweeted a video earlier today of a great arm wrestle going on with the show. Coach went out there with his guns out, sun's out today.
I mean, he came in on a motorcycle. I mean, he was looking real cool as he went into the pregame show for game day. Did a little arm wrestle. I think hard to bet on the Utes right now with a coach like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's awesome. Hey, we want to hear from you at home. Are you planning to go to ESPN's College Game Day? You can scan that QR code on your screen. If you'd like to weigh in, it says 68% of you would rather watch from home, but 12% say bright and early they will be out there with their signs ready to cheer the Utes on, so that'll be fun to watch.
There'll be a big crowd, I think.
Yeah, I think there always draws a lot of excitement, and it's nice that there's no rain or snow, so you
It'll
want
be
to
cold.
welcome them when it's nice.
Yeah, it'll be cold, but make some clever signs. That's the best part of watching the whole game day, is reading some of those signs, making fun of the Oregon Ducks. We'll see some of them. I know our producer James is going to be going to the game day. He's a big Utah fan, and he's got a really clever sign that hopefully we get to see on TV.
Just make sure you don't use 4-letter words that rhyme with ducks, because those won't be allowed on TV at all. So keep it clean, guys. Thanks so much for watching 2 News Live. We will be here at 5:30 Monday through Friday. We hope you can join us again for more in-depth conversations on the topics that impact you and your family. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.